Some good news coming out of the Green Hill School. The state agency that runs the maximum security juvenile facility says 5 students this year graduated with college degrees. And across the state's entire juvenile rehabilitation system, 175 young people have earned college, high school, or vocational certificates. For instance, 5 kids graduated from the state barbers program. No small thing, because it's 1,000 hours of curriculum. So they'll have opportunities when they get out, which is the whole idea. The new secretary of the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, which runs these programs, told us earlier this year that Green Hill is making a turnaround. As you know, if you've been watching the King 5 Investigators, we've been reporting for years on problems there. You can see our special report, Secrets of Green Hill, now streaming on YouTube and King 5 Plus. It includes an interview from DCYF Secretary Tana Senn explaining the changes the agency has made to reduce overcrowding and misconduct inside Green Hill.
Talk about a home run proposal. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk, and one Mariners fan got much more than a baseball on Father's Day.
I think spending Father's Day, the first one with him and with Haley, I think it will be so special. This would be awesome.
During the Mariners game against the Boston Red Sox at T-Mobile Park, Gabriel Gomez surprised his girlfriend Hallie Davis by getting down on one knee. And judging by the cheers from the crowd, plenty of Mariners fans were celebrating right along with him.
On June 3rd, Kent police responded here at the 400 block of Alder Lane for reports of gunshots. When officers arrived, they found a 16-year-old girl unconscious. Later determined she was shot. She died at the scene. More than 2 weeks later, on June 19th, Kent police arrested a 15-year-old boy in connection to her murder.
Count 3 is murder in the first degree.
Formal charges have not yet been filed. Prosecutors say they expect to receive the case referral from Kent police before making a charging decision.
Most people think heat kills through heat stroke, but UW researchers found that's only part of the story. As temperatures climb into the upper 80s and low 90s across western Washington this week, health officials are reminding people to take the heat seriously. But here's one thing that may surprise you. After Washington's record-breaking 2021 heat wave, researchers at University of Washington actually looked at what happened in those 3 weeks, and they put a number on it. They found 159 additional injury deaths across the state, not from heat stroke, but from things like drownings, car crashes, falls, and other injuries that actually increased during extreme heat. So when experts call heat a silent killer, they're not just talking about the heat stroke, they're talking about everything else that comes with it. And that's what makes extreme heat more dangerous than most people realize.
9 critically endangered American red wolf pups at Point Defiance Zoo in Tacoma are hitting a big milestone. The litter, born in April, just completed their first official veterinary exams. The 8-week-old pups were checked from nose to tail, receiving health screenings, vaccinations, microchips, and deworming treatments. The 6 males and 3 females now weigh between 5 and 9 pounds. They will remain behind the scenes at the zoo for now.
The viral dot cake trend. Everybody's going nuts and they're trying their own.
I'm seeing this all over TikTok because, yeah, you could do different sprinkles with 4th of July coming up, all of it. Your hot take is you think these dot sprinkles are crummy,
these are
not good.
These are called nonpareils, and they are the trash of the sprinkle world. Hardly anybody uses them because they don't have a great taste and they crack your teeth and all that kind of stuff. But for this, I think they're perfect. It's very easy. So this is just a cake, an easy vanilla cake, but you're just going to go in and just go all the way to the bottom and just kind of twist it a little bit and get some cake in there. You can use just about anything in your house, especially a circle. Then you're just going to take some frosting and
this looks fancy.
Be generous, because then you're going to go in with the most important part.
And you put all these like on a plate to make it
and
easy
then all
there.
you're going to do is go like this and kind of gently ground it in. Yeah, get a good press on there and then lift it up, and there's your dot cake.
Ta-da! Why is this not a cupcake?
Right. It's very sweet.
It's very sweet. It's very good. Is it worth it? I don't know.
A popular wedding venue is the scene of an early morning emergency. Talking about the MV Scansonia and Seattle Fire was called here on Monday, June 22nd, right around 6:45 a.m. because of reports that the vessel was taking on water. This is in the 200 block of North Lakeway Northeast. Now, this vessel here is one that is popular for wedding venues. In fact, the owner of the vessel tells me he's booked through the summer, but right now they are waiting to get divers here to see if this vessel will be stable enough and ready enough to allow guests on board. This morning, Seattle Fire made sure no one was on board as they worked to help the crew pump water. And now it's just waiting on inspections to see if it will be ready.
In Pierce County, a 22-year-old man pleaded not guilty in court today after leading deputies on a high-speed chase that ended with a fiery crash. This happened Saturday when a deputy tried to stop a car in Tacoma. The 22-year-old driver, identified as Damian Bay Jr., eventually crashed into another car in Parkland. 4 passengers in that vehicle were injured, including 2 children. He has been charged with 9 counts, including vehicular assault and reckless driving.
Well, there's a thought that every major story has a Northwest connection, and that is the case with this thwarted plot that allegedly was going to involve explosive drones at the White House during that UFC match to celebrate the nation's birthday and President Donald Trump's birthday a week ago Sunday. And today in court here in Tacoma, a 21-year-old man named William Faulkner was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. It's a crime that's punishable by life in prison, potentially. The prosecutor said this was an attempt to overthrow the U.S. government, a very serious charge. This 21-year-old young man pleaded with the judge to be released. He said he needed to care for his grandmother, but the judge said no, that you are a flight risk, and this is a very serious charge. Apparently he had some expertise in drones, and he was involved in some lengthy online detailed conversations, according to the FBI, that led them to charging him with conspiracy to commit murder. He will be held until this case goes to a trial.
We're just splash padding today, playing in the water.
Are you nice and cooled off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm melted.
You're melted? Are you gonna go get back in the water?
No.
How hot is it out here today?
Like,
someone doesn't know.
Like 190 degrees.
That's how it feels out here for you?
It feels because my feet are burning. In the lake, even though I'm in the lake and it's a hot day, I still feel cold. When you first get in, it's cold, but then you get used to it. It's really hot, and I like to just swim because I'm a really good swimmer, and I like swimming in water all the time.
It's such a pretty day. I'm feeling like I want to play some golf. Wonder where I can find a mini golf course.
This is our Artist Design Mini Golf Course here out at the Olympic Sculpture Park. So we have 9 different holes out here, all designed by local artists.
Why mini golf?
This has been something that's actually been happening around the country at various museums, having artists design these mini golf holes that are really playable sculptures. This is for everybody. We really want this to be a way that anybody can come out and play. Whether you're 5 years old or 95 years old, you can come out and have a good time.
From 1 to 10, what is your golf skills?
Mini golf skills, I'll put myself at about a 6.
So it feels like you're going to beat me today then.
We're going to find out, aren't we?
You're going to be proud of yourself because I'm horrible at this. I see where this is going, and it's not good for me. One, two, three. Why?
The access that they have to stuff that we would prefer them not is super high.
You type in the numbers, and then you put it up to your ear.
Skagit Speedway, by the way, giving them some love, rocking this past weekend. The Big Cat, Paul, Brad Sweet, led all 40 laps of the 54th Annual Memorial Dirt Cup, took home the win and over $100,000 for the win, pretty much led every lap. Sweet started from the pole, controlled the race from start to finish. Skagit Speedway will have racing again this Saturday. Way to go, Big Cat.
Wow, man, watching those guys fly around that dirt, and
always
it's like,
fun.
Man, oh man, they really take it to the limits.
And sometimes people say, like, how do you handle going to the lab knowing that this is a thing? I always say that, like, I would worry about it anyway, and so I might as well put my anxiety, to use. And so for me, it's like harnessing, this kind of drive to understand.
Jeff Carroll is a researcher at the Allen specializing in Huntington's disease, a rare neurodegenerative disorder that usually onsets in midlife and impairs mobility and cognition.
It's unfortunately universally fatal, for all of human history. Whoever has inherited this mutation will get a disease.
Carroll's own journey into understanding Huntington's disease is personal. When he was a teenager, he found out his mother has Huntington's, a genetic condition that he knows he has inherited.
Thousands of fans filled the stadium for the World Cup, but it's what was happening above the crowd that had federal agents stepping in. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk. Federal and local authorities confirmed that 4 people were arrested and 11 drones were seized during Friday's U.S.-Australia match for violating the strict no drone zone. That's because law enforcement has this new $11.7 million tracking system that intercepts the drone's frequency and guides police straight to the operator on the ground. Violators now face permanent confiscation of their gear, up to $100,000 in fines, and a year in federal prison.
At Lake Sammamish State Park, where a tree came crashing down on 6 vehicles. This happened earlier this evening, so I just want to show you that stump right there is what's left of the tree that is still intact. The rest of it, all those branches came crashing down onto 6 vehicles. So we know that nobody was seriously injured, which is really good news. Crews were able to get a lot of those cars out from underneath the branches over here. There is still at least one white SUV that's stuck. Not sure when crews will be able to come back here to remove that. But again, this is just sort of a crazy freak accident, for a lack of a better word, of just what happened out here at Lake Sammamish State Park. Again, thankfully, nobody was hurt.
They're available to every World Cup fan zone in the United States, and right now they're having a truly viral moment. Oh, and the best part about it all is they're free. We're talking World Cup charm bracelets. Tell me why it's so important you got one.
For my wife.
It's a cool souvenir to have. When I saw these online, this is memorable to me.
She just saw it on TikTok or something, and she's like, I gotta come here, I gotta do this.
How charming is your charm bracelet?
It is beautiful. I love it. They did a great job. It's well worth it.
Atlanta, football, the World Cup trophy, I think that's a heart, and USA, obviously.
You know what? I'm gonna get myself one, right?
Yeah.
A woman is recovering here at Harborview Hospital after a shooting at 12th and Jackson. Police were searching for a suspect Friday morning after the woman was shot around 8:30 at this small encampment near 10th and Main. This shooting comes days after Mayor Katie Wilson announced a new strategy for the intersection there. It combines increased police enforcement with treatment and outreach services. No longer, the mayor says, will the city tolerate open-air drug use and drug dealing there. Under this plan, the city says anybody who is caught openly using or selling would be offered entry into Seattle's law enforcement assisted diversion program or face jail time. At this point Friday night, police say the woman here is in stable condition.
The World Cup is underway, and these players don't need a field. At Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium, soccer balls roll into habitats. Animals chase, nudge, and track the movement. It's enrichment built around play and natural behavior. Consider it a local take on the global game.
How did this compare, the transportation of so many people, like to the Super Bowl, to the big parade that we had?
It's fairly comparable. So the number one day all time for light rail ridership in Seattle was when we had the Seahawks Super Bowl parade just earlier this year. Our top 3 days are all this year. It's Seahawks Super Bowl parade, the opening of the Cross Lake connection, and then on Monday. And today, with the enormous crowds in the stadium, but also the fan zones that are all accessible from transit and everything else that's building up around it, combined with the Mariners event and the fact that we see that people really do love to take the train on a weekend day. And this is kind of a weird hybrid. People are down here at work, and people are also out celebrating because it's Juneteenth and going to those festivities. So there's a lot of reasons to be on a train today. We don't have hard numbers yet because we're honestly still carrying the people, but early reports look really good. Not only is service going smoothly, we have gone out of our way and seen huge success in making sure that even with these huge crowds, our passengers with accessibility needs can get on the train right away. Trains themselves are moving fast, but also lots of people are on them.
It's an important message the TSA feels needs to be put out there for international travelers, especially during the World Cup. You cannot take home full bottles of ranch in your carry-on luggage. The popular and uniquely American condiment has captured the taste buds, apparently, of international visitors to the States. In an Instagram post, TSA reminds airline passengers all liquids more than 3.4 ounces need to be packed in checked luggage and not in a carry-on. Who knows? We may see a new wave of travel-sized ranch for sale. Let us know if you come across any.
What started out as an oven fire ended up with firefighters tearing open walls in a Seattle restaurant. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk. Firefighters responded to Gordo Steak in Seattle's Pioneer Square after reports of a fire inside the restaurant.
We were just walking by. I thought it was a factory or something by all the smoke coming out.
Seattle Fire said the flames spread into the restaurant's ventilation system, requiring crews to open up walls to access the fire. No injuries were reported, and the cause remains under investigation. I did reach out to Gordo Steak to see if operations would be impacted by the fire and didn't hear back, but online listings do show normal business hours for them today.
Search teams are looking for a 20-year-old man missing here in Lake Washington near Kirkland. We're at Holmes Point, where police say they were called in the middle of the night. A group of friends went swimming around 1:30 in the morning, and a 20-year-old jumped off a boat. Investigators believe that's when he suffered cold water shock, and others jumped in to save him. Police say those people who jumped in had to be saved as well, but the 20-year-old never made it out. The search has turned into a recovery effort. Expect to see a boat using an underwater drone when winds around Lake Washington die down.
He's good. Oh, that's so cute. He was like dabbing earlier. Yeah, man. Oh, here we go. Michael Jackson moonwalk. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So get it, boy. In the Rodriguez jersey. I just love this.
Seattle just got some major World Cup bragging rights. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk, and Lumen Field just picked up a #1 ranking. The Athletic had reporters visiting all 16 World Cup stadiums rank them on things like atmosphere, location, and overall matchday experience. Their top pick? Lumen Field, which tied Atlanta for the best overall stadium experience. Governor Bob Ferguson celebrated the ranking on X, noting Seattle was one of just 16 cities selected after 41 originally applied to host matches. Reporters loved Seattle's downtown location, the energy around Pioneer Square, and how connected Lumen Field feels to the city itself, giving perfect score for transportation, aesthetics, and soccer suitability.
Overnight in Fife, neighbors started calling 911 because they saw flames and heard smoke alarms coming from an apartment building. Firefighters rushed to the apartments on 16th Street East, a few miles south of the Fife Curve, at about 11:50 Friday night, June 19th. The Tacoma Fire Department shared these photos of crews working to put out the flames they believe started on the deck. Everyone made it out safely. Thankfully, no injuries to be reported of people living there or firefighters. The cause of the fire is under investigation right now.